Hi guys, this is Melissa Snad for Intu Boxing. I am delighted to be joined by none other than Kalle Sauerland. How are you doing tonight?
Doing fantastic after watching a night of boxing like that. Fantastic fights, all through the card. Good to see Razor Ali, but I thought big win for Brad Pauls on the card tonight. Very tough fight, a learning fight. Fantastic to see him as official, winning the official final eliminator for the British title, and of course the performance by Harlan Eubank, stepping through the gears very quickly. This man, he's moving in fast ways, so really stepping up, and very proud of him. He's been out 3 times in 5 months, and he's tonight was savage stuff what he done in there. Very impressive. I thought Dog would take him a long way through that fight, and maybe he would learn from that. That plan didn't quite pull off because he took his man out early. It went so. I was standing next to Junior when it happened. Junior was very engrossed in the fight, and he said to me afterwards, he's coming through, man. He's coming, and it's nice. He's really done it. He's done it the right way. He's worked very hard outside the ring. He hasn't. We were lucky to pick him up as a free agent, as a promoter. I can not for the life of me work out why no UK promoter picked him up before. He's under a long-term contract now, and we're looking forward to working together.
Do you know what? It was a really fantastic night of boxing. I do want to ask you a couple of questions about the Brad Pauls Brian Kelly fight, because I was talking to a few of the audience members, and a few people had said, I thought that it was Brian Kelly down the fight. I guess it's one of those things where boxing is quite subjective, and it was a test,
You could say that, by the way, about the main event. We didn't even talk about the main event yet, but you could say the main event was a very close fight, and then it comes down to what style you like. You like the effectivity or the activity, i.e. do you like punches, power punches landed, or against the volume of punches landed? Lots of different subjectivities. Of course it is. I must confess I was dealing with things outside the ring as well, so I didn't see the full fight. I'll have to look at it tomorrow, but what I did see was fantastic performances by both, and hey, Brad Pauls is my man, so I'm going to sit here and say they win the fight. I know it was a tight fight, and tight fights normally mean that some people thought the other one got it and the other one got it, but what I would say, I think both came out as winners in terms of experience on that there. But we're of course delighted that Brad got the victory.
Let's talk a little bit about the main event, because I think it's fair to say that through the first half of the fight, Linus had Denzel on the back foot. He was stepping through the gears really effectively, and actually, as a fan of the sport myself, I was watching it thinking, this was tough for Denzel to come back from.
Yeah.
And then he did. He had a few extremely solid rounds in there. I feel like Linus got saved by the bell at one point.
He absolutely did in one round. I think Linus was let's call it in control. Although you couldn't really even say that, because there was moments when in Linus rounds where Denzel had his moments. With the exception of I think one round, which was a big Denzel round, all the rounds they both had their moments in. So it was a tough fight to score. If you gave it a draw, you gave it a draw. You know what I mean? But that's the sort of fights you want to see. You don't want to. You want to see these 50-50s. You want to see fights, where you see top boxing. And like I said, for me, if you look at the main event, you look at the Udofia versus Bentley fight, had that been for a world title, it would not have been out of place. So you see the levels, and we're just delighted it's been seen by a free-to-air audience, and that's fantastic for boxing. It's a great advert for the sport. People who don't normally watch boxing, if they saw that fight tonight, guess what? They'll be hooked on boxing.
How can you not be right?
Yes. Well, we're biased a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit biased for sure. Obviously, the Josh Kelly fight got pulled very last minute. We saw Josh kind of wandering around, looking quite despondent.
He was. Yeah. Wait, but don't forget, we couldn't tell him until 8 p.m. because we didn't know whether the opponent would just turn up. You know, 20-something years of promoting boxing fighters at all levels, from Unified World Championships, WBSS, or grassroots boxing. I've never, ever seen a situation like tonight where the opponent just literally pulls out. Like, I'm like, is it the money? Is it the weight? Is it, no?
Do we have an answer as to what it is?
No, they just said, no, we're not boxing, it was a kilo over. I said, well, why didn't you say that yesterday
when the weigh-in
happened?
Sure.
Like, not 3 hours before the fight.
Yeah.
So I didn't know whether it was a bluff until the last minute, so we couldn't tell. Adam especially didn't want to, and quite rightly so, didn't want to tell Josh, because imagine the opponent still turned up. And Josh had shut off.
Yeah.
So it was. Unfortunately, it was. And then but he said straight away, I want to tell my fans. Well, so we sold a lot of tickets tonight, Josh. He wanted to go up there and tell them himself, and I thought that was very credible. Shows the sort of guy he is.
Yeah, great sportsmanship.
Yeah.
Kalle, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And what a wonderful night.
Thank you.